promised you somebody smarter when we got started here, and that time has come. So I'm going to hand it over to Christy, and she's going to take you through smarter expense management in Acumatica, and then I will see you guys for the Q&A and the sign off. So, Christy, feel free to take it away.
All righty. Thank you very much. Yeah, like what Derek was saying, I'm going to talk about expense management. I'm going to give you a little demo on how to do some expenses with the web app, or not the web app, the mobile app, and through the web, and how you can see how they interlink and show the same information just on a different platform. Okay. Going to go over some document recognition. Um, there's a lot of information there that will be helpful for you. If you get lots of invoices come in, then you can have them uploaded and do all the recognition instead of typing everything in. And then I'm going to touch on some bank reconciliations. Had a little system issue, so it's going to be sort of kind of half recorded stuff and half live stuff. So just bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and start off with our expense management. And that's going to be a little video at first. Make sure you can see my screen. Oh, nope. I forgot a button. There we go. Got to have sound. Now I can show my screen. All right. I'm going to start it off now. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about expense management and some of the ease of using expense management through your phone, like if you're out and about doing stuff. So we are going to log into Acumatica, and it depends on who you have. If you have different Acumatica logins, you can pick a different one here. I have some customer ones set up, but this is my demo. So I'm going to use my demo. And this brings me up to my company screen. I am going to click on my time and expenses. All of my expense receipts would be any receipt that you have. You're going to have a collection of receipts for lunch or supplies, hotel, anything. So we're going to capture all of our receipts and capture them as they come along through your emails, however you want them. I'm going to show you how to do it on the app. I'm going to show you how to do it on the computer also here in a little bit. But for now, this one is going to be how to do the apps, how to work it through the app. Input all of your receipts, and then at the end of the day, week, month, however you want to do it, or however your company does it, you can turn all of those individual receipts into claims where either the employee gets reimbursed, or if some of it was on a corporate card, then that is how the corporate card is going to show it matching up and how they get paid. So they have all of their documents in order. I am going to click the three little dots beside the expense receipt. You can either create a new one where you're going to type in all of that information manually. You can capture the expense receipt, which is what I'm going to show you first. Let's see if I can go capture. And I am going to look, might need to turn my flash on, and I'm going to click my little take picture button. So it ignores all that other hoopla stuff that you have going around. You can make it a little nicer. And then you're going to hit your little check mark. It is coming out here, and it is going to do some recognition. It's going to find the dollar amount. It's going to find the company name, dates, and anything that is highlighted in the orange. That's what it has recognized for you. So you've recognized it, and you click the little plus, or the check mark, sorry, click the check mark, and it filled that information out for me. My description says IHOP. That's who it was from. The date, it captured May 31st. The amount was $31.59. The expense item, this is what you will have to do, and I'm going to say this was a meal. So if you click the magnifying glass, it brings up options that you have. I'm going to say business dinner and lunch. And I'm going to hit save. Here in a minute, I'll show you what it looks like. But let's do another one. Say you took a picture of the receipt, but you forgot to log in. Maybe you were out and about and you couldn't get reception or whatnot. Then you hit your three dots and you're going to select an image. It's going to take you to your gallery. And this is one that I had in here. I'm going to hit check. So it's going to recognize the same information. Takes it a minute. It has who it was for, McAllister's, the date, and the amount. And you're going to hit your little check mark. Same thing here. This was for a meal. You can see that the paperclip up top has a 1, so it has captured that receipt. It's there. It is on hold. We're going to hit save. We can look at our expense receipts that we have out there. So here's my McAllister's that I just uploaded, and here's my IHOP. If I click my three dots, I can hit select. And I'm going to say, let's select these two documents here. I want to claim those. So that took my 2 expense receipts that I had, and it turns it into an expense claim. And I'm going to say week of May 30. Oop, if I can spell. This is today's date. It added the 2 amounts for me. I didn't have to do that. We're not going to send it to any customer or anything. I'm going to hit submit. If it goes through an approval process, which this one does, I'm going to go ahead and approve it. So now my expense receipt has been done. If I look at my expense claims, here is my week of May 30th. Has my information. This is my detail information to show the 2 receipts that I had. And this one shows me it was approved. Now that you saw what it looked like on the phone, I'm going to go over to my time and expenses, and I'm going to say expense receipts. And here is my McAllister's that I just created and my IHOP. It's showing that it is open, so it hasn't processed yet. If I go into my expense claim, here is my 1 item. It is approved. Here's my two items. Here's my 2 receipt attachments. As the accounting person, they will go in, they'll do their reviews or whatnot, and they will go ahead and release this document. This gets it into the system to follow through the payment process. All right. And if we look, here's our reference numbers to show that these are closed. These are no longer out there to be claimed. And if you look here, this is telling you, here's your meal for $31. It did hit the corporate card because that's how I have mine set up. And if I go back to my expense receipts, these are released, so I won't be able to claim these because it says it's already been claimed. This expense receipts will show you if you have any receipts on hold, any pending approvals to be claimed. This one is telling me there's 2 out there that need to be processed. If there were any rejected, and then all of the ones that were claimed. So you can see that we have some to be claimed because it does not have an expense claim number here, but it might be just easier, especially if you have a bunch of these, just to go to be claimed, so that way you can claim what's left. All of your expense claims, these are the ones where a claim is what gets paid, not the receipt. The receipt is just all of the individual receipts that add up to what's being claimed. So we can tell that these 2 are on hold. These are old, so we probably need to get them submitted. For some reason, we didn't submit that yet. I'm sure the accounting person is like, hey, you have stuff from April showing up on your credit card. Why have you not done anything? Or if this was like a personal expense, then I need that money back so I can either pay my credit card or reimburse my checking account for the expense that I took. 4th of July is coming up. I might want to have a cookout. I need $129 to buy some hamburgers and hot dogs, right? So I go ahead and I submitted these. It is pending approval, and this is telling me who it's pending approval, or who's the person that's supposed to be approving it. As an admin, I'm going to go ahead and just approve it. If I did not have approval process or access, I would not be able to click this button. This is a security thing. Same thing with release. Your individual end user is not going to, more than likely, not going to be able to approve and release their claims. This is just, I have admin rights because it's a dummy database, and it'll take up time for me switching back and forth between who's logged in. So just to let you know, this is secured, that you're not just going to have somebody approve stuff and then get paid. So now it's saying approved, and it was approved by Maxwell Baker, even though Layla was the one that was assigned to. I have approval access. Technically, he should not be able to, but like I said, this is an admin database, dummy database, so it's okay. And then I go release it. All right, now to see where these went, if I go into payables, cash purchase, here's everything that I've done today. So here's my $31 for IHOP, $73 for McAllister's, and then the $129, which was my April receipts. If I click on them, oh, this one was actually a corporate card. I thought it was a $129 to me. I guess I'm going to have to work some overtime so I can buy those hot dogs. All right. And then this goes through the regular finance process or accounting process where it'll get recognized on the bank statement. The last time I captured my expense receipts, those were going to a corporate card. This one was a personal expense that I did that I didn't have my corporate card. So I'm going to click my little three dots. I'm going to capture my expense receipt. And we are going to say click. It's pretty cleaned up. Check mark. It's going to go through the recognition. It finds my information. I'm going to check mark. Still have to say it was a meal, right? But the part that I want to show that's a little different is I am going to scroll down here under details. This is saying that it was paid with a corporate card. I am going to change that to say a personal account because I used my debit card, couldn't find my corporate card, or it was at home, this was an impromptu, whatever. So I'm going to say this is a personal account. So this means that this amount that I am claiming is going to come back to me personally, not get paid through a corporate card. Same process. We're going to go ahead and save it. We're going to go ahead and let's create an expense claim. We're going to kind of do this a long way. We're going to add receipts. These are the open receipts that need to be claimed. This is the only one I'm going to do because this one is coming to me. I want to add it. Go back. I'm going to say week of June 1st. Let's see, week of June 1st, my name. I can pull up any information that I want, details, doodah, we're fine there. I'm going to hit save. So I go look at my expense claims. And I forgot to mention this earlier. You can see, just like on the web browser, if you have any that are on hold, any that are pending approval, and then your ones that are approved and completed. So these little filters are the same filters that you would see on a desktop browser. All right, so week of June 1st. This is the one that I want to submit because I need money. Remember a little bit ago we were talking about needing money for hot dogs? I got some money for hot dogs now. I'm going to hit submit. Again, I'm going to approve it and I'm going to release it. Let it think a moment. And your status says released. All right, let's go back. Let's disconnect my phone and let's go back to our web browser. Time and expenses, expense claims. See, these are the same little tabs. They just look like little filters. I only have one that's on hold because I got through the other one. Week of June 1st is completed. And if I click on this, depending on which access you have is what all you can see. This one is a bill. So this one actually needs to be paid. It's opened. So as an accounting person, I'm going to go to my bills and adjustments. There's my open expense for $48. I now need to pay this. So just a normal pay, go through your normal pay process where you can process them all. I'm just going to show you how you can pay this one. You're going to click pay. Yep, I'm going to mail them a check, whatnot. Remove hold. Print process. And then here is my $48. I don't want to pay that one yet. I'm still looking at that one. So let's just hit process. So here's the check that is going to be mailed. $48 to Maxwell Baker. You close it. Same thing as normal. You can release or reprint. I'm going to go ahead and release it because I want this to show fully closed. So if I go back to my time and expenses, if I have my expense claim, my claim shows released. Here's my bill, and it is showing closed. All right, everybody, thank you for listening to that. We are going to start talking about some document recognition next. Let me open that screen for us. If you get, say you have stuff gets invoiced or emailed over to you, and you have this wonderful little email, you have an attachment. The only thing with the attachments is it has to be a PDF. This was something I just took a picture of, but I do have it saved out here. Let me go find my expense, or not my expense, my document I want to recognize. So we were talking about expense receipts being recognized. You can actually have invoices from vendors that come through, and those can be recognized. So what I'm going to go to is payables, incoming documents, and this is our incoming documents to recognize. I am going to just drag and drop this little file up here. And there it is. You can, and anytime you have a little schedule guy, you can put this on a schedule so you don't have to manually click this information that I'm clicking. Right now, I'm just clicking for the ease of it. So what I can do is select all of them or just this one. I'm going to recognize the one. It's thinking. All right. It has processed. So if I click on it here, here's the document. And it comes over and it's like, okay, it knows it's a bill. Dragonfly, it recognized Dragonfly here. The branch is who I'm logged in as. It recognized the date on 5/16. The due date shows 5/31. Vendor reference, the invoice number, which is great. Over here, it has the total amount. It recognized the total. This description, we want this information right here to be the description. If I do a click, it fills in what I just clicked. But let's say that I want that whole line recognized. So I'm going to hold down the control key and hit the other two sections. So now it tells you that's the job. So that's what my description is going to be. Through AI machine learning, when this document comes in again, I might have to select it to say, yep, that's what I want my description to be. But the machine will learn, the system will learn and say, oh, it knows this part of the document needs to be the description. So after a couple of times, it'll recognize that and you won't have to click that anymore. It goes down and we see we have two different lines here. We have $70 and $50. It did the two different lines, the $70 and the $50. So that's your subtotal. Doesn't worry about any previous balance or anything because it's just this one document here. And I can click Save and Continue. And it created the bill for me. I didn't have to go in there and type anything. I didn't have to put any dates anywhere. It filled everything out. This is just a demo database. It was one that I found laying around in my little pile of paperwork here at the house. But if this was an actual invoice from a vendor and you had stock part numbers or something like that, then it would come up with the inventory ID. On mine, it didn't have that because this was just a test. So all of your information is here, and you can remove hold, release it, pay it, just like a normal financial or accounting process. If you have it already set up to do, like some of the, wrong button. If you have the release documents, you're going to prepare payments, it's through the regular process. I've already showed you how to pay a bill, so I'm not going to show you on this one. But that's how easy it is to do a document recognition. The file is, I need to save. The file is attached up here. This is what it is. The file has to be a PDF file. I think I remember mentioning that one. If you have multiple files or you have like a like say an AP inbox, it can be set up to do this automatically for you. You don't have to go in and recognize them yourself. We can put it on a schedule for you. Let's see if I was missing anything else. This one's pretty easy. Going through my notes to make sure I didn't skip anything on that one. Took longer to do an expense receipt than it did to pay this kind of bill, didn't it? Let's go to our last subject, which is banking and reconciliation statements. If you have like one bank account and you don't do a lot of checks or payments or something, then doing it the long way where you're clicking off, you have your bank on one side, on one screen, you have this on one screen, and you're like, yep, that's cleared, that one's cleared, that one's cleared. You can do that manually. There are other ways to help you out a little bit where you can actually import bank transactions, and you can either upload a file, and I always forget what the file types are. You get these from your bank. You can upload the OFX, the QBO, or a QFX format. You can import from Excel or like a CSV file. Those aren't as secured, but if you download it, it's there, right? So you upload the file, it goes out and it finds all this information, and it matches some of the documents for you. You can view your matched documents to say, hey, it knows that this was a $50,000. Here's your interest payment. It found the information for you. You also have a bank feed, and bank feeds are really nice because bank feeds basically is Acumatica and your bank talking to each other periodically throughout the day or at the end of the day, first part of the day, something like that. The way you would do that is you can go in, same thing on this one. It has a little schedule guy. So you can look at it'll process your, oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. Retrieve bank feeds. Sorry. This one, same thing. You have your little schedule and it's linked. All you have to do is look at it in the morning. You have it scheduled to run first thing in the morning or at 2 o'clock in the morning. You come in and look at it, or you can schedule it to be processed. This is where I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I do not have a video on this. I plan on getting that video done within the next week or so, but it will definitely be up on our YouTube site fairly soon once I get everything all figured out. But you can go in and get bank transactions automatically happening. Um, Another good thing about if you have bank feeds, it will allow you to create expense reports from those bank feeds if something was paid like on a corporate card. So instead of going through all of those expenses and having somebody individually do those, you can have an expense receipt or an expense claim processed through your bank feed. It knows, hey, this was on a corporate card, and it processes it, and then the accounting person just has to go and say, hey, here's all of the stuff that hit your card, where's your receipt? And then they can go in and attach the receipts. So that's really nice, especially if you have multiple people with multiple corporate cards, then trying to rely on someone else to say, oh, here, I forgot I need to attach this, or I need to go put this expense claim in. It's already there, so you can kind of be a little bit proactive to say, hey, I saw something hit your card yesterday. I need the attachment. So those are pretty much what I had to talk about today. We went over our expense receipts and expense claims, how we can do that on the phone, either live while we're there, or take a picture of it, and when you come back, do your expense claim or your expense receipt once you get Wi-Fi or whatnot capabilities. The document recognition, it was really short and sweet, but that's pretty much how quick it is. Like I said, you can do your multiple pages. It had different on my incoming documents. These were here. I can like click all of them and recognize them, and it creates those bills for me. Okay. Let's see. And then I went over the bank rec and bank feeds manual process, which is totally fine. But if you want to save some time and either have a file uploaded and it auto match some information for you, or if you have your bank feeds, which can take care of your corporate card expenses and doing your matches, those are awesome. That's awesome information. If you do not have either the advanced expense module or the bank feeds module, or you're interested in it, reach out to Ira and he'll be able to get you some information on that. I think that's about all I have. I'm going to give it back to you, Mr. Derek.
Nice. Well, that was a great look at expenses in Acumatica. Thank you for that, Christy. Let me get my deck pulled back up here. So, like I said, we hold the time at the end for Q&A. There's nothing in the Q&A right now, so hopefully that means that Christy did a great job and everybody understands and doesn't need to ask any questions. But if you do find yourself, in a situation where you're not sure what to do, feel free to email, reach out, follow up with your consultant, email the support line, all kinds of ways to reach us there. But before we go, I did want to share that we've added a few more shows to our trade show circuit for Mike starting in August. We added Tulsa IMA and then also the Arkansas SHRM. We may add more, but those are for sure where you'll be able to see Mike over the next, 4 or 5 months ish. We do have a pretty big change coming to our money game, if you're familiar with that at the trade shows. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that if you have any plans on attending any of these shows in the next few months. But that's all I'm going to say about it. If you want to know more, you're just going to have to come find Mike at one of the shows. But For our Serve Access Plan members, the recording of this session is going to be available early next week. If you're interested in becoming a Serve Access Plan member, also reach out to Ira. You can see his information there at the bottom of the screen. And then if there was any modules or anything that you were interested in that you saw today, you can follow up with Ira there as well. So I still am not seeing, maybe we do have one in the Q&A. Troy would like to know, Christy, how many hot dogs you got for that $40. So,
Well, since I didn't get paid yet, probably with $40, if I go to Sam's, I can probably get about 2,000.
it's a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Christy, for taking us through that expense management. Thank you to everybody who attended, and be on the lookout for May Smart Talks invites. July Smart Talks invites, which will be going out in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see you in July. In the meantime, enjoy your summer. Thanks.